This is an example of what the real motives are behind the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. Now, I saw the video yesterday that Chris and Martin and those guys did in Vanny. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. They make some great points, man. They actually say some great things. And I'm very grateful that they did it. I only disagree with them about one thing, one tiny thing. I disagree with them on why all of this happened when it comes to blaming the apathetic liberals or apathetic voters out there. That's a little oversimplified to me. I guess my style of delivery is I get into a flow of things and whatnot, and I do give people a chance to talk. I always pass it off. You do. And I'm not preventing people from talking at all. So if you see Oz, because Oz told me earlier, I said, man, I want this to be a back and forth. But if Oz said it depresses me, so if you want to talk about it, that's fine. Oz has a chance to come in anytime he wants. Hey, please do. But if he doesn't, that is not me. All right.
Well, I was going to say that as well as what I was going to
say.
I'm
sorry. Please go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. No, I was going to just let people know that, I'm going to let Corey go off, let him say what he has to say. He has some very cool points that he wants to bring up. And, I know everybody, a lot of people want to hear his views on it, and maybe mine as well. But I've been talking about this, with my friends, with my family here at nauseum. It's very depressing for me to hear, what transpired with this Roe versus Wade thing. And a lot of sentiments that were said yesterday from Martin and Chris and Vanny, I echo those, all of those. And, and all the level-headed people on this site, which are most of you, we're all echoing the same things. So I don't want to be redundant on these things. Real quick, it sucks. I wish it never happened. Please go out and vote, and not just vote for the president. Vote for all your local things as well. Keep an eye out for that. The people that we put in there are the people that's going to make the decisions for us. So we got to make sure that their policies line up with ours. All right. And with that said, I will let Corey talk.
Some of the stuff you saw probably already, and definitely some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about, you've already heard talked about on the previous show. Some clips I will show you probably saw played on the previous show. But I'm just going to come in and give my spin on this. And my spin on what we're talking about right now is, of course, on the repeal of Roe versus Wade, which used to guarantee women the right to an abortion. Now, everybody's been having their feelings about it. Everybody's been having to say about it. But I tell you, Oz, this thing is... I expected, a lot of things that were said and a lot of things that people are doing, like protesting and what right now. But I have to tell you, boy, we're living in an age right now where this situation here is getting sadder and getting more bizarre.
Yeah.
But
stuff is spilling out.
Oh, yes. But what I can tell you, at least, for whatever it's worth, people are getting more honest.
I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
Well, shit. They're just putting it out there now. Said fuck all lives matter.
With white life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that was yesterday. No, we want to let you know white lives matter today. Shit, what happened to all lives matter? What happened to every life is precious? Yeah, what happened to that? And now, and who is that people? That is Representative Miller from Illinois, who's thanking Donald Trump for putting all this in motion right here. Mm-hmm. And now that she said what her followers really want to hear, now she does the old strategic backtrack. Nah, I know she put that out there, but now she's coming in and talking about, that was a slip of the racist tongue.
I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
And Trump out there, you goddamn right. Look at him. He's proud. He's
He's
like,
like,
yep. Yep.
That's the shit eating grin I know.
Yep.
Right there.
I did that.
More applause for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Her campaign says she misspoke and stumbled while trying to say right to life instead of her white life. Her campaign also adding Miller has...
Listen, that's bullshit, all right? That's, like, we all know that. I mean, listen, even if that was a slip, or that she was thinking it. Even if that
that's how those things kind of work, right?
That's the way. Even if that was a slip, that's what came out because it was already on her mind. It said what she was thinking. You know, where those words, if those words were accidentally mixed together, the last thing that they would make is white. You know, they would, you know, you know what, where those words, if they were accidentally mixed together, they would have said anything but white. I don't know how those words crashed together to say that, but she was nowhere near white when she said that.
And if she was truly sad about it, she would have stopped and said, excuse me, and really, you know, said what she had to say. She let it roll and she clapped after it.
She would have stopped and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Exactly.
I didn't mean that." Exactly. She didn't say that.
No, but she clapped afterwards.
I want to thank you for the historic victory for white life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
And clap. Then apologize for it all.
Clap for it. I'm like, Jesus. You did not hear how that sounded. Of course you did. That's why he clapped for it. I mean, listen, if it was, again, man, if it was a slip of the tongue, maybe it was. Who knows? But if it was, why don't you stop and backtrack right then and there? No. Why are you going to clap? You heard how that shit sounded.
Yeah. And that it was at best, and this is at their best is their worst. At best, it was a slip of the tongue.
Right.
But it was a slip of the tongue because it was in her mind. At worst, it's a dog whistle of people out there. She meant to put it out there, and then she's going to sit up here and pretend like it was an accident when it's already out there because she knows that that's what her base wants to hear. Oh, Mary, why you bugging? I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's why you put the word out there. Dog whistles like that dude we did a while ago talking about Martin Luther King Coon Day. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Martin Luther King Day. Yeah,
you meant what you meant. you meant what you said.
Nonsense.
No. Yeah, man. And Trump he was proud to have her put it out there.
Can we shift our attention to that, brother?
Oh, let me just tell yes, because I'm gonna tell y'all.
Okay.
I saw these Negroes sitting in this audience, and I said, boy, they must pay these black plants well. Because that's what they are. They strategically put black people in the audience just to say, see, black people are okay with this. Why are we racist? They put those people back there, man. They plant them back there. I tell you what, they must pay them well because they didn't react at all when she said that shit. They cheered it. Like, what acting agency are they from? I'm going to tell people out there, hire them because those fools stay in character. Look at them.
It's that method acting.
It is method acting. They became the white nationalist.
Jesus.
For even through all that blackness, they became the racist. No, people, that was not a slip. I would argue that that's even Freudian. All right, that was exactly what was on their mind, and they were happy to get it out there, accident or not. Because this right here, what you saw with this is an example of what the real motives are behind the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. Now, I saw the video yesterday that Chris and Martin and those guys did in Vanny. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. They make some great points, man. They actually say some great things. And I'm very grateful that they did it. I only disagree with them about one thing, one tiny thing. I disagree with them on why all of this happened when it comes to blaming the apathetic liberals or apathetic voters out there. That's a little oversimplified to me. I get it because when we reach this moment, we automatically want something to blame, and there is this feeling that if this happened, we must not have been doing enough. And I don't think that is cool to go up and blame just people who we perceive were not getting off their ass and voting. That it's a little more complicated than that.
All right.
And I've always thought about that because now, are there some people out there who don't do anything? Yes, but I'm gonna talk to you why this shit is really happening, man. And you already know why. But let's not get so angry. We're trying to blame anybody out there because we need a target. That's not it. I'm gonna tell you, it's more complicated because voting patterns. They have. Listen, when 2016 came about, when Trump got in, voting patterns kind of remain the same. Now, I will tell you, and I'm going to get to the whole Roe V Wade thing a little bit, but this is important for you to know this before we talk about what really happened here. It's not really voters out there. During 2016, the voter turnout for a lot of groups were about the same. Now, and that's when Trump came in. Now, voter turnout for blacks, it was low. Black voter turnout declined for the first time in 20 years, and it was at the lowest decline since 1992, and that was back in 2016 again. Listen, that's to be expected, y'all, because who do we have before? Well, we turned out like Barack Obama was barbecuing, man. Man.
In droves.
Yeah, we turned out in droves to get the first black president in there. So naturally, there would be a dip in voter turnout for black people. Plus, you also have to consider that when 2016 came about, black voters, they don't always feel like politicians, even Democrats, Democratic politicians, or the Democratic Party, they don't always feel like they have their best interests. Right. So sometimes, this, and you also have to put into account, voter restrictions that have been put into place, gerrymandering.
It's true.
Things that have been, the moving locations to pretty much deter black people, whether it be with location or ease of voting, that kind of thing. So you get, it's more complicated than just we didn't get off our ass and vote. It's not that. It's not that at all. Also, when it comes to 2020, when we had Trump and Biden running, record numbers of voters came out. The black vote was still not close to where it came with Obama, but that's Obama, man. What are you gonna do?
Right. True.
Yeah. So
yes, a unicorn.
Yeah, man. So it's not that a lot. And if really people just, if you think about it, people do turn up to vote. You just have to factor in who feels like voting represents them. And if you get a candidate that is not strong to certain groups, they're just not going to turn up in the numbers that you think that they should. Okay, so that's all I had to say about my disagreement with that. It's not that people are apathetic. Let's not start blaming each other and fighting with each other so much. Get off your ass, do something, and be aware. But it's not just that. I tell you, it's not that. There is this whole shift from what we see as the status quo that has been, and I'm sure they mentioned this that has been years in the making, man, while we have what we have today. There's this whole image of what America should be, what America is supposed to be from back in the good old days. Right. That is driving people it's driving people to react more out of fear, out of anger, out of hate. All that stuff connects, by the way. And a lot of these people are fueled by propaganda. And propaganda is what adds that fear and the anger and the hate out there. I would dare say that if you look back, because we're talking about the status quo. The status quo was disrupted when you had Barack Obama get in there.
Correct.
Because we had, what did we had? We had straight older white dudes as the president. Yep. And once Obama got in there, that's when all the white people said, "Hey, we slipping." When that happened, That's when people really start to think like, wow, things are changing into this country that people warned us about all these years. It's not going to be.
It's happening.
It's happened. The happening is happening. Shit, the white purge is happening is what they think. You know what I'm saying, y'all? You know, listen to me now. You know, it's because that day of the white nuclear family, dad going to work, mom staying at home like she should, and raising kids, and apple pie, and and nice chicken dinners and all the other. That shit was that image is being, even though that image never was really real, that image was disrupted the moment this man got in there, and people just kind of like, oh shit. That's the first sign that things are really, really slipping in this moment. I mean, surely these minorities and hippies and gays been running amok, but we had them under control. Once we let that nigga in the White House, that's when things started to get crazy. And that's where we have to talk about this. Let's just get into Roe versus Wade now. Because when we talk about the status quo, that's what this is really about, keeping that status quo there. It ain't about babies. Ain't got nothing to do with babies at all, man. They love a fetus. Old Cletus the fetus, he'll get plenty.
Old Cletus
the fetus will get plenty of love, man. Yeah, man. Because they don't have to do shit for a fetus. You don't have to feed a fetus. You don't have to educate a fetus. You ain't got to put up a fetus anywhere. You ain't got to do shit for a fetus, man. But once that fetus pops out that vagina, and we actually see a human being right there in our faces, they might as well look at that baby and say, you know what? You. Because this is not, it's about that fetus, old Cletus the fetus. He'll get plenty of love, but those babies, oh no, hell no, man. If this was about babies, and I'm saying some shit y'all already know, but I'm going to say it again. If this was about babies, if this was about saving children, if this was about loving the kids and they're our future and making America great, then we'd be making sure that the healthcare system was better. We'd be making sure that none of these kids were going hungry in this country. We'd be making sure the education system was better. People, you don't have to walk into a school with metal detectors and distract these kids from education and having them feel all stressed out the moment they walk the door. They get there early in the morning, they getting buzzed in like they walking through prison or something, and it doesn't have to be that way. We could take care of that. We could change that. But they don't give a about these kids. And if they did, the reason why you have these metal detectors, we would be taking these weapons that would be killing children en masse. We'd be getting rid of those. We would keep children from getting those. But they don't give a about these kids. Now that fetus, as long as you see that fetus in a goddamn sonogram or x-ray, anything like that, oh, that's fine. But the moment that these kids come out here, and by the way, even if they do admit they say they care about the kids, I really do. And if they really do, most of them just care about the white ones. They don't give a about the rest of these kids. They don't give a let a kid, I tell you what, here's a challenge for you. Let there be a test. You want to talk about abortion and legalize it and make it more acceptable? Let there be a test that your kid was going to be gay. They would legalize that shit in a minute. They would say, oh, well, there's an exception. Not rape, not something where the woman's life is in danger, but let that kid be gay while it's a fetus. Let them have a test to predict what it's going to be. And they'll abort that in a minute. I'll tell you that right now.
They'll make special exceptions.
They'll make a special exception for that. If that kid, they could predict that kid wanted to be trans, they put a coat hanger up in that vagina quick. They wouldn't even get you to a doctor. They take care of it right then and there. I'm gonna tell you something. Here's a really depressing statistic for you. This is sick, man. You know how many homeless children there are in America? And I've read this today. I didn't go out and take the number myself. I'm gonna go by what I see. I read it in several different spots though. Okay. 1 in 30 American kids is either homeless or has experienced homeless. I'm not talking about teenagers. I'm talking about children. You don't hear them talking about that. How many times do we talk about homeless children? No, not at all. But they'll talk about that fetus. As long as that fetus got a home up there in that belly, they're fine with that. But they don't give. Imagine that, y'all. 1 in 30 children, young children, are homeless. And they ain't doing shit to fix that. They could if they weren't so hung up on the fetus and abortion. But they don't do nothing for these kids that are living. And don't tell me about adoption, because there's so many kids. First of all, adoption, yes. Some of these people put the money where the mouth is and they adopt. They do. But not enough. Because if they were, all these goddamn kids would be adopted. Every one of them would have a home. Shit, we probably adopt more puppies than we do kids.
That you don't head right there, man. Yep, you did. Yep.
I'm looking at it right here. Staggering 2.5 million. I read that today. 2.5 million children each year are in a condition of homelessness. We ain't talking shit about that for these kids that are living in squalor. But no, that fetus, abortion, we got, we love the children, don't kill the children. You're killing them right now when they're kids. You're fucking killing them when you don't do anything about these weapons. You're killing them when you let them go hungry. There are kids starving in this country. You let them, you're killing them when the foster care system is screwed up. You're killing them when nobody's going out and adopting these kids. And the older kids, forget that. There ain't nobody trying to get some of these older kids out here.
Nah, it's done.
Nah, when they start hitting 12 and 13, you might as well be a man. You might be an adult.
You're an expired kid at that point.
What I'm telling you, and it should be blatantly clear, that this is an attempt to turn the country to a status quo. And what is that status quo? It's Christian, straight, white, male. And, right now, and this is why things are going crazy, because there's a shift in demographics that has them going, that has these people going insane. It is not about people maybe to an extent, but not about people being apathetic and not doing anything. It's just that these people see this shift in demographics. They see themselves as being they ain't satisfied with people being equal. They want to be in power. They don't want you to have shit. And abortion is a part of that. Abortion is a big part of that. This shift in demographics that we have going on right now has finally shown how easily this experiment of America, this experiment of democracy, how unstable it is and where the cracks are. I'm looking at what we have here right now. There's no damn way that we should have a system where someone is elected for life like they are in the Supreme Court.
That's crazy.
No one in the Supreme Court should be there for life. What the f is this? Are they the village elders? Is this the goddamn Jedi Council?
Yeah, the president's not there for life. Why should they be?
The president. Yeah. And we say Supreme Court because we think that those are some of the best minds out there. And that's why back in the day when people weren't even living that long, that's why they were there for life. That is not the case, man. And right now it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before this thing was going to shift one way or the other and be off balance. Either way, there should be balance there. It should not be leaning one way or the other like that. And these people should be rotating out because these people are playing chess with this. They're playing chess with the Supreme Court and messing with our lives, man. It's insane. As I said, this was never about babies. This is about appealing to a Christian, mostly white male base. And this is in the Supreme Court, who is not just dominantly now right wing. You have people in there who are religious extremists. This is the gift to the people who want a theocracy, which is a ruling religious group. This is their gift to the people who believe in this big replacement theory, that the Democrats are replacing voters with people of color and immigrants and whatnot. Or there's just people who are not what America used to be. They're coming in to take over. That's just their gift to them, man. And there's also a gift to those people who want and have always wanted a woman to know her place. That's insane, y'all.
Goes back to that, huh?
It goes back to that. A woman who, you know, for all these years, the woman was seen as the matriarch. The guy goes out and makes the money, and that woman, you stay home and rear kids, and that's what your place is, and that's what you're good for.
That is your job.
That's your job, man. And
here's a vacuum for your birthday.
You are the backbone of this country. Yeah. Throughout history, ever since the founding fathers, the woman has been the backbone of this country. Even though they haven't had a say in politics, they can't hold office, they can't have a certain say in certain parts of society, but you are the backbone of this country because you lay on your back and you give birth. And, you know, that's what
you get boned.
You get boned. You
That's
get
terrible.
boned and you get birth. Yeah. I'm not, it sounds ugly the way I'm putting it, but that's the way, that's what it is, y'all. It's what it is. No, you know, another reason these people don't care about abortion is because, again, it's another situation where the people who are really pushing this, and some of these politicians who have lots of money, they're in the right class, they're in the right group, it's not going to affect them. It's not even going to affect their families, probably.
Of course not.
Unless their white daughters get, you know, pregnant by a black dude, and then I tell you, you be goddamn right they'll get an abortion then. But they know that it's going to affect, of course, it's going to affect the poor. There are people out there who they can't afford to go to a state where they're having, you know, where they legalize abortions. They're not going to have the money or the expenses or the resources to travel there. Also, now these places are going to be backed up. In Canada, they're getting backed up with people already talking about, you know, lining up for abortions. You know, but it's also, they know it's going to affect women of color. It's going to affect people of color. This is from Reuters. I got some statistics for you. Not statistics, but I guess you could say that, you know, there's some research on how this affects black people.
Yes.
Most American women overall die of childbirth every year compared to any other developed nation. That's America, y'all. America, the beautiful, in the advanced, the far advanced country in, you know, in the world. Black women are more than 3 times as likely to die from pregnancy-related complications as white women. And that's data shared by the White House. Health experts trace the relatively high rates of abortion among black women to disparities in healthcare access, including lack of health insurance and contraceptives in underserved communities. In Mississippi, black women accounted for 74% of abortions in 2019, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. Again, it ain't affecting us, you know, and it's keeping them in their place. Poverty is a way of keeping people in their place. That's why you saw with things like Black Wall Street. That's why you had the Oklahoma, you know, the Tulsa massacre.
Right.
You know, they always say, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you can make it here in America. Yeah, you can. And then they can come in and blow that shit up and keep you in poverty. Poverty equals ignorance. Ignorance equals control. Again, from Reuters. If more black women are forced to carry pregnancies to term, there will be a disproportionate increase in deaths of black women in childbirth. And this is a study published by Duke University. So, you know, and that goes for brown people, you know, that goes, you know, again, and of course that goes for poor, no matter what color you are.
Yep.
You know, it's you know, this is there's a lot of layers to this, which people, it's not about just murdering kids. That's not what it's about at all. There are a lot of reasons that people get abortions. And by the way, not just liberals get abortions either, okay? So, out of here with that. You know, and again, I'm not blaming all this on apathetic people, but we do, we do need to get off our asses, man. Because I'm telling you, the thing with this, with what's happening with the Supreme Court, you have one man. Yeah, one man who's the most conservative out of all of them. He said, we ain't stopping here. And that's your boy, this old black bullfrog right here, Clarence Thomas. I want to tell you something about Clarence Thomas.
Himself.
Yeah, man. I don't care how, because if you call him Uncle Tom or you say Uncle Clarence, now people want to use that as a tactic to say, see, you're being racist too. You attack black people. You attack your own with racist sentiments. And it's like, no, get out of here. We call it like it is. Don't try to deflect by making us like the villains here. This man right here, you ain't ever seen him. Look, that's him all these years. That's him all these years when he saw the way things were going, the moment that Roe versus Wade got repealed, he's happy. Look at that. He's jolly as hell. He said, listen, now that happened, well, we just getting started.
Yeah.
Gays? Mm-hmm. Now people are bold enough to already come out and talk about it. You got people already going to city council meetings, having sermons where they get up to the pulpit and they start preaching their sermon. And one of the things they're saying, with boldness, the Bible says that we have to kill gays. They're going to start taking your rights away. They're going to start taking your right to marry, a right that should be given to you. Gay people should be allowed. Anybody should be allowed to marry just as like anybody else. Well, they're groomers and rapists. Well, you know what? Straight people are groomers and rapists too. Get the fuck out of here with that. And this stupid ass right here, and it's already been mentioned, I'm gonna say it again. He's talking about gay marriage like the way people used to talk about interracial marriage, which is what he's in.
Yep.
I should tell you about this man. Just give me a little chance, a little bit of time. I'm gonna tell you about this man. I'm gonna tell you about this man after I'm done with this. Mm-hmm. Just real quick, I'm gonna tell you about this dude. But people, gays, women, they already come after you. Gays, you hear them loud and clear. Blacks, you always on standby. You always on the list. Let them in.
Top, bottom, middle, you are on the list. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We always got you on standby. You know what's up. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with you yet, but we're going to find something.
But trust me, we going to do something.
Yeah, we'll find something. You just wait. Hey, we'll keep you on standby. We'll call you when we're ready. We'll call you when we're ready for you. Take a number.
Hey, exactly. Take this. We'll buzz you when we're ready.
Yeah. People, do not be this person. Do not be this man. Do not be any of these people. Do not be these people with all these different militia groups and all these hate groups. And man, fear and hate and anger, and not only is it bad for your health, but people don't do it because it prevents anything from getting done. Do you know how much we could be getting done right now? But we're so, the thing is, we're so worried about harming other people that we're not taking care of things that's harming everybody. This country sit up here we're sitting up here talking about bullshit, little things. I mean, we're talking about individual special interest.
Right.
We're talking about selfish things, man. We're talking about things that stay in power. Meanwhile, climate change is getting worse, and it's real. Y'all know it's where everybody talking. You might have been a climate change denier a few years ago, but you got to admit, some shit is going on now. It's hot as hell here in Texas, and the more hotter than this is the first time I've ever been like, it's too hot. I've been in Texas all my life, and I never said that. All this weird weather we got going on, sea levels rising. We should be worried about that. Healthcare in this country, nobody's doing it. Healthcare is terrible. There's more and more people, even some of the rich people, who would tell people, look at you in your face to tell you, well, why don't you do better and you can afford better health care. Rich people are leaving to go to other countries to get better health care. We could be taking care of all that shit. But we're sitting up here arguing about these little things for our own selfish little needs. And that's because we're not worried about anybody else. It's not, whatever they say, whatever these politicians say, we're worried about you, we care about you, we're looking out for you, they're not. They're looking out for their own interests. And all these people who follow them, they're looking out for their own interests, and they're being bamboozled because they're being controlled by their fear, their hate, and their anger. Don't you be like that, y'all. I mean, don't. It's just a shitty way to be anyway. But don't be like that. If nothing else, it's counterproductive to everything that happens on this goddamn planet, man. I don't know what to tell you, man.